Alright, so I watched A Quiet Place Day One. This is the prequel that I said before the first two movies that I said in New York City with the invasion and that is caused by these alien creatures and hunting anyone that makes a sound and staying quiet and also fighting for survival as well. And I gotta say, this was a great prequel and all the tensiveness and scariness on screen is felt here and so much more. And so this will be my full review for the movie. Obviously, no spoilers and going over my thoughts and my impressions and especially for what I thought of the entire movie and explaining all that, especially within the characters, the emotions that were brought and more. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified for future vids and more stuff like this. But now, let's talk about it. And now, starting things off, if you guys know the first two Quiet Place movies with A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2, and that were starred and directed by John Krasinski, that like adapted the idea of like creatures like hunting humans that like make a sound, and with that idea that was generated into a horror genre. I mean, it was brilliant, and a lot of people loved it. And even with this prequel that is set before the first two movies, and even with my enjoyment and having it being set in New York City, and even this is with Sammy as fighting for survival, and from what we can tell, like from her character, and that like she is figure stuff out, especially having her cat with her, and also about what she is doing and what she's been through, and even like for like the invasion and with the alien creatures that invade New York City and like taking people and also killing them as well, and it feels like a sense of danger for these characters, and I totally felt a tensiveness and just like a scariness, just like I see these people just like fighting for survival. And now, just with the story overall, I really enjoyed for what this adapted, for what it delivered, especially with a prequel a lot like this. And even though if you enjoyed the first two Quiet Place movies, or if you're someone that didn't watch the first two movies, and I don't think that this is a required viewing, but you should definitely watch the first two movies, so you can definitely get a sense of what this movie is, what it feels like for like having to like stay silent and to not get hunted by these alien creatures and that like will want you if you make a sound, and you know I saw this on the big screen. It has some of those moments like where you're on the edge of your seat, and like man, like there's like so many loud noises, and just like trying to stay quiet, and like wow, there's like a certain moments like where like you're scared, or like a jump scare happens, and like I just really enjoy that out of a whole horror movie, and this film delivered just that as well. And man, even for how the movie starts, it like really gets going until the very end, and even like you're like rooting for these characters, and hopefully they'll make it out alive. And I just like the characters that were adapted, and like you were like I felt like worried and scared for them as well. And now, even with the chemistry between Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, and even with Joseph Quinn in this movie, who is mostly known for Eddie Munson from Stranger Things, but now being in A Quiet Place movie that is a prequel, and I just really liked everything that this dude adapted into this character, and then have like a sense of feeling for what's going on, and I just really liked his character development and got to know like about him, and as stuff that I really like from this movie is that even though with these two that like are trying to survive while like creatures are invading New York City, and like I tried to go after them, and with these two people that like left standing in the city while like trying to go on the run. And wow, like there's some like crazy moments, and also it's scary, and also like the silent parts as well, because again it is a Quiet Place movie, but I definitely enjoyed the sense of the scary adventure that this movie brings, and even though like there's some like dark stuff, things that will make you think about life, and that you'll definitely see it in this movie. Like, there are moments where I almost cried, and like having like, and even with Lupita Nyong'o that plays Sammy, and like I do really get the feel of her emotions of what this character is going through, and especially with the cat. With these two, they work on screen, and I was like rooting for them the entire time. But like at the same time, you really get to connect with these characters and their emotions, if you know what I mean. But there's some moments that you'll definitely feel emotions. And even with my experience, as I was watching the film, it is a definite thrill ride, in my opinion. Like where you really get the sense of danger for these characters on screen. Like they're going to make it out alive, and there are really some like cool world-ending moments. Like even from what we see from the marketing and from the trailers, and what you'll definitely feel in this movie, it's like a totally tense ofness. Like you'll get chills. I mean, I certainly got that like every single time, and like man, there's some parts like where characters like have to say like you are very quiet, and like from what the first two Quiet Place movies delivered, especially with those two like being like silent movies. But even within this movie, I mean, there are some scenes where the characters are talking as well as sort of like communicating in that sort of way. But that's stuff that I really enjoyed out of this movie, and I just like every character's development for how and how they're evolved totally until the last act at the very end of the movie, and I just enjoyed it all. Even with the horror elements that are adapted in here, and like there's like so much, there's so much that you're scared for, like, and even like for how the invasion goes, it is really scary, and with these creatures, and that like you really get to see them like up close, and even for how they're designed for this movie, it is really damn cool, and just like see these design creatures for how they were, especially in the first two Quiet Place movies, but to see them in this prequel, to have a set for where it all began, and like I'm pretty sure like with this story, I mean it's probably go have a big role in those two films, and even for how it led into like the film that John Krasinski directed the first two movies. Like I did definitely liked every like horror moment that this movie delivers on top of. There's some like cool action moments where they're like these characters are on the run for survival, and like trying to make it across like the buildings, and trying to stay alive while surviving as well. And I just had chills. And also, I really had like emotions with these characters, and like man, there's some like stuff that'll really make you cry, and like having to think about everything around you, and even that these characters' backstories are told really well, and like I was like really attached to these people, and that these two are trying to survive as they're part of an invasion with these creatures. Like I definitely liked Sammy and what her story is like, and even with Joseph Quinn, who plays Eric, and these two interact like so well, and even towards like at the end of the movie, like it really evolves, especially with their friendship, and how it really comes together in like a sort of way. But man, like I just felt like so much stuff while watching this movie, and like man, there's some parts like where jump scares are in your faces, but especially with the creatures and much more. And yeah, I think it's definitely a recommend. And so for my final thoughts is I really enjoyed this film, and A Quiet Place Day One is going to be the prequel that you'll definitely want to see on the big screen, and I think it comes out this weekend. So make plans, like go out and see this movie on the biggest screen you can in a premium or an IMAX, just go and see this movie. And I definitely enjoyed every moment of, from the scariness, all the tense scenes. It will definitely leave you on the edge of your seat. And even with Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o, they definitely work together. And yeah, like you're just watching these two characters like fighting for survival on the big screen, and being part of an invasion. And especially as I like the creatures and its design. I mean, there's like so much that like I want to talk about. But this is a definite recommend in my book. And so go out and see this movie as well, and just go and see it. And so that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have seen A Quiet Place Day 1, let me know what you thought of it, and give me a rating to 1 out of 10. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn the notification bell for future videos. Also follow all my social medias, all which are linked down below, including my Patreon. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.